Hey, everybody. Welcome to another exciting and riveting episode of Crimes, Killers, Cults,
And beer.
and Beer.
Although there will not be beer today.
There will from me. You
Well,
want me to do a review?
yes.
I'll do a review of Bud Light at the end.
It's shit. There's your review, folks, ladies and gentlemen.
It was funny on the botched executions episode. You know, I turned the host duties over to History Goon. And at the end of the episode, we were saying goodbye. He goes, beer review. I had water. It was good.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much what you had. So, yeah. You both had water.
Hardy har. Mine has a kick, though.
I don't know, Bill.
If you drink enough of them.
Yeah, I guess. If you were 4th of July, whole 24-pack or something, maybe.
Yeah. I was going to say, especially if you have too many of them, they have a kick. But anyway, I'm Bill, and this is my lovely and sassy co-host, Sandra.
Hello.
This is episode 155, and yes, 3 of the last 5 episodes have been kind of different. They were all potpourri episodes of sorts. There was a tribute to Todd. There was the botched executions episode, and then, of course, last week there was Prison Tender 2. So, we're getting back to normal now. This is just a regular, straightforward story.
The 2-part cat story was kind of normal. Kind of.
Yeah, that's why I said 3 out of the last 5. Because I wasn't talking about those were the 2 normal ones, and those were the ones that you were on. So I guess Sandra, queen of the normal, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not Abby someone.
Tonight we've got a crazy story about a predator who was conning and killing with no regard for anything or anybody. And she was a big time con artist, and her scams were legendary. It was kind of her execution that left a lot to be desired, and what she did afterwards. So right out of the gate, put a knife in that.
Hold on. Wait, what she did after her execution? Did you just say that?
No. She's not Boone Helm.
Hold on.
She's not Boone Helm. Yeah, and I get why you thought that. Yeah, I worded that wrong.
Is this like what was it? What was the one? Oh God, the movie where with the dead guy. Why is it leaving my head? Where their friend's dead.
Weekend at Bernie's.
They act like he's not dead. Weekend at Bernie's. Yeah. I'm like, is this Weekend at Bernie's episode or something?
But what I meant was the problem was in what she did after the execution of her plans.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Continue.
That was on me. I did word that. I did word that confusingly. I admit it. Is confusingly a word?
Yeah. Confusingly?
Confusingly?
It's confusing. I don't know. Well, maybe. For purposes of this episode, it can be a word. Right. I understand what you mean.
It probably won't come up again.
So she wasn't executed.
No.
Okay. Got it.
So Cindy McKay of Baltimore, Maryland. The story doesn't really begin here, but Cindy becomes publicly known as a victim the night of Christmas in 2002. A fire destroyed an old Victorian home. According to firefighters, the blaze was caused by a lit cigarette that Cindy's husband, Buddy Downs, had fallen asleep on the couch while holding it. Cindy and her 2 kids escaped, but her husband, Buddy, did not.
I'm already sensing that there's something going on here that's not quite right.
And you would be
Is
right.
my intuition right? Okay. just thinking. Okay. Continue.
Cindy had a relatively easy childhood. She went to an all-girls Catholic school. She was popular. had lots of friends. She was even a cheerleader. As for her work ethic, she was said to be a hard worker, and all of her coworkers liked her. So, I mean, nothing that points to what happened later.
So, kind of your typical sociopath, right? Everyone kind of likes them. They're kind of charismatic.
Kind of. 1999, Cindy was 46 years old. She was newly married, but for the third time. Buddy, her new husband, was 48, and he worked for the Parks and Recreation Department in Baltimore County. She finally found the right man. He was also a very well-liked man. I mean, he was divorced, but he had 2 kids. Cindy also had 2 kids. And he took Cindy's kids in as his own, and they loved him. Her son Matthew said that, I think it was Matthew, said that he was more of a father figure to him than their biological father. And when you think of the fire happened in 2002 and they were married in 1999, they were only dating for probably less than a year when they got married. So this is a very short time for Buddy to really, make that big of a influence in
connection
the kids, connection in the kid's life. So I mean, this guy was awesome, But they bought the house together, and it was a fixer-upper, but Buddy liked doing that type of thing. And before too long, the house was gorgeous inside and out, and Buddy even had Cindy's sons helping out, showing them how to do little odd jobs and everything. And like I said, that was probably a really big bonding experience too.
Yeah, when you build something together, you make something your own kind of home.
Yeah. Buddy is a good dude. I would have been really good friends with Buddy, I'm sure. But
I mean, even his name is friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
My buddy.
Although next week's episode will be a serial killer named Buddy.
Oh,
I'll have to find one, but I'm sure there's one out there. I'm sure there's got to be one out there. I mean, there's one named Pee Wee, for crying out loud.
Pee Wee.
Pee Wee Gaskins. Pee Wee Gaskins, the short man from South Carolina with the bad attitude.
The only Pee Wee I know, was like movie theaters of a certain type.
Herman, Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
And like I said, he liked movie theaters of a certain type.
Yeah, he did. I can't bring myself to watch that documentary on him because he really did get a bad rap.
I mean, part of me is like, oh, whatever. He was in an adult place, I guess, doing adult thing. I mean, maybe he shouldn't have been doing that, but
come on.
Come on.
He was arrested because of the fact that he was Pee Wee Herman. That's it.
Yeah. I bet if you took a black light to that entire theater, the whole thing would glow.
Oh yeah.
So,
maybe we'll cover Pee Wee Herman next. I don't know.
It's like his only crime, though, wasn't it? I mean, he didn't go out of his way to do anything else.
Well,
he laid low after that.
What happened to him was a crime.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
yeah. That doesn't really fit in our wheelhouse, I guess.
Yeah, he's kind of more of a victim of ridiculous judicial
and
system.
That whole thing happened right here in Florida and Sarasota. Of course it did.
Florida man.
That whole thing with Jared Fogle, if you remember, that happened in Sarasota as well.
Oh, really? Jared Fogle, the subway guy?
We covered him.
Oh. Yeah.
We covered him. That was one of your first episodes on the show. And the episode
I don't want to cover Jared Fogle and his 6-inch, or not his foot long, I'm sure, but I'm glad I didn't do that.
You did do that. That was one of your first episodes.
No,
or maybe
not.
no. That was Paul.
Was
that was Paul. That was Paul. My bad. That was one of his last episodes. My bad.
Like we've done a couple kid diddlers, but not him.
Yeah, that was one of Paul's last episodes. My bad. My bad.
No, I know for sure I didn't do that one. But we digress.
But Buddy made good money, but Cindy had a bad spending problem. She was always coming home with expensive things, going on trips and stuff like that. When I say expensive, I'm talking cars.
Oh, not like I bought a Coach purse or something like.
No, she was all in. She was addicted to money.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame her, but I don't have anywhere else to put any more cars. I mean, too many cars enough.
But to her credit, she got a job at St. Mary's Seminary, which is the oldest Catholic seminary in the U.S., but unfortunately, that wouldn't last long. She was laid off due to financial problems within the seminary, but put a knife in that.
Stealing from their coffers, too?
Yep.
So I'm really good at this. Okay.
We'll see. You're going to have a lot of chances in this one. But right now, you're 2-0.
I swear I haven't read about this.
You're 2-0, and I haven't even asked you what you think happened. You just came up with them on your own. So,
all right. I don't know what this says about me, but either I'm a really good guesser, or don't read into this.
Or you're Cindy McKay's sister.
Not, in fact, but yeah.
But losing that income took its toll on the household. But Buddy couldn't handle it all, and Cindy couldn't stop spending. She still kept buying. She kept buying out of his money. And this happened just before. Take a guess.
Before the fire, insurance policy.
Yep. Damn, that's two right there. The fire and the insurance policy. This is backfiring on me.
I'm telling you, I already see a pattern here. I'm like,
already this episode is a lot of fun. But, damn, I wanted to do the bum 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 right after I said this. This happened just before Christmas of 2002, but I had to do the little right jingle.
Sorry, I ruined your opportunity. You can still do it though. I can act like I didn't answer it yet, and you can do it.
Nah. Nah, you're good. You're now. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna grab a piece of paper here. I'm gonna keep score. Right now, you are 4-0. All right, got that. You're going to set a record on this episode.
We'll see. What? See, but you know what? You can't do that because now it's kind of like you might have jinxed me. So, but go ahead, continue.
I doubt it. But the house was in ruins and ultimately condemned and leveled. But they did find Buddy's charred remains on the couch. They lost everything, and Cindy went on TV crying about how the kids had lost a great dad and how she had lost a great husband and all that stuff.
But yeah, see, they found his charred remains. I'm guessing he was dead already.
Yeah, but
unfortunately,
yeah. But I'll go ahead and say it. Put a knife in that. My knife volume is kind of low. I can barely hear it, but I'll fix it.
You can put it up if you need.
Nah, I'll fix it. The rest of them are fine, so I don't want to screw anything up. I'll fix it when I edit the episode. There aren't a lot of knives in this one.
Okay.
There have been so far, but there aren't very many more. So the neighbors set up a relief fund to help Cindy and the kids out. It was Christmas after all. Even employees from the St. Mary's Seminary contributed. So
Of course
what
they
do you
did.
think happens next? Take a guess.
Oh, goodness. Well, I mean, obviously she's
Has to do with the
well,
seminary. Has to do with the
yeah,
seminary.
steal. Like I said, probably like going in and stealing from their bank or something, or
No,
defrauding them or something like
she's been laid off at this point.
that. True. I don't know. See, you did jinx me. You did.
Well,
See,
this one's kind of tough. I'll admit, because I didn't say anything, that was giving it kind of giving a clue to this. Well, what was happening was, when this was going on, there was an internal investigation going on at St. Mary's Seminary. Remember when I said that the seminary was having financial problems?
because of Cindy.
Mm-hmm. They were doing an audit to figure out exactly what went wrong. Well, Cindy went wrong.
It makes sense.
There was a discrepancy between the money that was coming in and the money that was being deposited into St. Mary's bank accounts. Some of it was being put into a private bank account that didn't belong to the seminary. It was a private account, and the total of deposits came up close to $200,000. And they started around the time that Cindy started working there, and ended around the time that she was laid off.
Wasn't very smart of her, though.
Like I said, she comes up with these. She comes up with a really good plan, but what she does afterwards is what makes her, a dumbass. Which we'll get to that later. They brought in everybody who had access to the funds over the past year for questioning. But they knew who did it. It was obvious. They requested that Cindy come in, even though she didn't work anymore. So Cindy did. They put the evidence in front of Cindy showing what bank the money went to, when it started, when it ended, and then told her that they knew that she had an account at that bank. So Cindy fessed up. She admitted the whole thing, and she even had a detailed log of when she made each transaction, complete with dates and amounts. She had it with her.
Like you do. I mean,
Well, she probably knew the jig was up.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, did she bring the gas can she used to burn the house down or something with her too? Police questioned her. Like, oh yes, here's the petrol that I put in a circle around my husband's body. Here's the axe I killed him with beforehand. Just in case you were wondering where it was.
You are a clairvoyant. Not in this case, but in a different one. I swear, give me the winning lottery numbers. I'll split it with you.
Dude, if I had the winning lottery numbers, you think I'd be doing this?
Yes.
I'd be on a. I don't know, maybe from a yacht or something.
That's fine. But Cindy had taken the money, and she said that she was really sorry, but she had a really good reason. Take a guess.
Oh, but they were having money troubles, right? She lost, they were struggling. Her husband was sick. He was dying. Something was happening in their life. They needed the money for something.
You're dancing
she
around
was
it.
Sick. She was
Nope.
dying.
Nope.
Children.
Nope.
Oh. Family, her house, something happened. Some disaster. She needed the money.
Yeah, but what? I'm marking this one down as a miss.
Oh, come on. She couldn't pay her car loans. Okay. I don't. Come on. They were going to repo her cars. All of them. All the fancy shit.
She said that she was desperate. She was forced to do this because she had no choice, because Buddy had a gambling problem, was a big time drug user. He laundered money. And she even went so far to say that a loan shark had come to their house and put a gun in her son Matthew's mouth, threatening that if Buddy didn't pay, bad things would happen. And she swore that she would do whatever it took to pay St. Mary's back. So, not only is she a thief, she's dragging her dead husband's name through the mud and using her kids as props to back up her bullshit story. And if you think about it, she's contradicting what she said on TV about Buddy being a great husband and father.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe she thought, I'm going to say this on the news because it's, it's public, but this is more private. I mean, no one needs to know about Buddy's horrible gambling addiction and his
that's exactly what she was.
Problems.
That's exactly what she. That's exactly the angle that she took. But still, she was still doing that. She was still dragging his name through the mud.
Oh yeah. Okay, but see, that's a win. See, I got her motives. But see, you can change that one too. Yeah, or just cross it out.
Okay, I won't put it down as a win or a loss. How's that?
There we go. That's it. That's a scratch that one.
But so now she was a total victim of Buddy, and she fully intended to emerge a hero, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, literally.
Mm. Oh no! Oh, for a minute I thought I froze. Okay, anyway, continue.
Seriously, we're only talking about a year, and she took $200,000. She had to be blowing the money on anything and everything. I mean, $200,000 would completely end my financial problems that I have, and I could probably invest what was left and live comfortably for the rest of my life, doing nothing other than karaoke, trivia, and acoustic gigs a couple nights a week.
I don't know if I'd go that far, not in this economy, but I mean,
True.
But
still,
I definitely could pay off all of my debt and have some money in savings and be like, okay,
yeah, some money in savings, and then you work a part-time job and along with the karaoke, trivia, and acoustic gigs.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And all the money I make off this show.
It's coming. It's coming.
Like the dragons in Game of Thrones.
It might take that long too.
How many seasons are we on? Is the last season going to be really bad?
No. No. So, like I said, she promised that she would give pay back everything to the seminary. So what do you think happened? Take a guess.
She paid back everything.
No.
Right? Totally.
No.
Oh, no. No, she didn't pay back any. No. Mm-hmm. She took and ran.
Well, yeah. But not yet.
To a different account, closing
not
accounts.
Not yet. I'm going to go ahead and give you credit on that one, even though. So the seminary actually agreed to work with Cindy so that she could pay back the money. They bought her bullshit story, but they were smart about it. They called the police to make sure that she held up her end of the deal. St. Mary's even asked Detective Richard Gibson, who was assigned to the case. Richard Gibson's a frickin' rock star, by the way. They asked him to go easy on her because she had just lost her husband in a fire. But what happens next? Take a guess.
I'm assuming that they start investigating the fire.
You got it.
And start figuring out that maybe it happened under circumstances that not so good.
No, you got that one. You are now 6-0. Well, 6 1/2. Yeah, because I mean, you were dancing around it, but you didn't actually hit the mark. But Detective Gibson says, died in a fire, you say? Is that right? He looked into Cindy's background, and what was a simple embezzlement case turned into a hunt for a freaking criminal mastermind.
I don't know. Yeah, she was a mastermind. She was a criminal. Let's not seem to say
Well,
mastermind.
she was able to successfully pull off every single one of her things. It's just she was bad about the afterwards, and she got greedy too. So yeah, she's a mastermind. Source for this is the documentary Diabolical, season 1, episode 9, Weeping Widow. That's all I used on this one. I mean, I did some other research. I couldn't find any other information, so screw it. Just use this. This is a really good documentary. Diabolical. I'll probably be using that series again before too long. It was really good. I had never seen that one in particular before. It was really good. Detective Gibson first looked into any life insurance policies that they may have had and who the beneficiaries were. Cindy was the sole beneficiary of Buddy's life insurance policy, which was for $300,000. None of his kids were on the policy, just Cindy.
Yeah. He didn't want to leave anything to his kids, huh?
Yeah, that rat bastard. Just kidding, buddy. Just kidding, buddy. We know you're an awesome dude. You know what's funny? I thought I had never heard of this case before, but whenever I do a case on something that I've never heard of before, I always go, after I've written the notes, I always go search like Spotify to see if is any others. Mm-hmm. And there was one. It was a 2-part episode, but the funny thing is I had listened to it. I had listened to this other podcast episode on them, but this was way back in 2023. But I had definitely, it showed that I had listened to both episodes, and they're 2-parter on him. This isn't going to be a 2-part. This is just going to be a 1. But still, I mean, it's like, I don't know how the hell I didn't remember this. I guess it's all in the delivery. Yeah, because this podcast was one where they're just like, just the facts, blah, 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 blah.
No comedic relief.
Mm-hmm. But, so to save face, Cindy had to double down on her slander of Buddy. She said he was a heavy drinker with a bad temper. He had lots of gambling debts. But in Gibson's research, it didn't add up. Not one person that he interviewed about Buddy said that he was any of those things. I mean, sure, he drank beer, but he was a social drinker. He had his job at the Park Service for over 30 years. I mean, nobody had ever heard of him gambling, and he wouldn't have hung around sketchy people. Cindy's own son, Matthew, even said that the loan shark story where the guy put the gun in his mouth was bullshit. He's like, that was news to me.
I don't remember having a gun in my mouth, but
that's Cindy's own son saying that.
So that must have sucked for the sons too, because then they must have been thinking, what the hell is my mom on about? Like,
yeah. I mean, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that at the end, but yeah, definitely. You don't get that one because that wasn't a take a guess. That was just a bit of logical foreshadowing.
This is all logical foreshadowing, Bill. This is my logical foreshadowing.
Fine. You're now 7.5. Damn. Killing me over here.
Don't say I'm killing you, Bill, okay? I'm too good at this.
That's true. This is a true crime podcast. They might take it seriously. Like hit stop and call 911. Oh my God, his co-host is killing him.
See, because Bill, if you ever end up dead for some reason, you know that they're going to start looking at me, and that's not fair.
Well, they didn't start looking at me for Todd's death.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, how much of this kind of banter did Todd have with you? A lot of this?
He was on over 90 episodes.
But did he ever get this many right in a row?
No, I told you earlier. He got the entire time he got like 2 right the entire time.
That's what I'm saying. See,
yeah.
I seem like more of a psycho.
I'm starting to think. Yeah, this is my lovely and devious criminal mastermind of a co-host, Sandra.
What I'm not going to do is be like, now, folks, this is how I would have done it. This is where she went wrong, see?
Yeah. But Gibson had checked to see if Cindy had a criminal record. Turns out she had lied on and forged a death certificate on her own father and wound up getting his life insurance money when he died.
Oh. Huh.
I'll have some thoughts on that. I'll have some thoughts of that at the end of the episode. But she had also been charged with theft and stealing company funds from a job she'd had in the past. She did 6 months in jail over that one. And what happened to that job? Take a guess. I've already picked up the pen. I already know that. I know you're going to get this one. I've already picked up the pen to mark it.
I'm on the spot.
Huh?
Unless I don't know. Did they agree to let her pay it back too?
No. What did you say first? What did you say first?
What? When?
Just before you said they agreed to let her pay it back. What happened to this business?
Oh, I didn't say anything. I said that they went under. I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. You kind of glitched there for a second. I thought you had said something. Okay,
I said nothing.
More specifically,
they
building.
went bankrupt. Yeah. Oh, did it burn down to the ground?
You got it.
Okay. See, that one was a little bit of coaxing. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
you say what happened to the business? I'm like, oh, what happened to the business? What, they went out of business? But you say what happened to the building?
I didn't want to say building, so I threw you a bone there.
Okay. So she was basically like an Office Space to set the building on fire.
I've never seen an episode of that. It's on my list.
The movie.
Well, I haven't seen that either. But they
oh
are.
My God.
They're both definitely on my to-do list of things that I need to see.
Oh God, Bill! Seriously, you've never seen that movie?
Office. Maybe I've seen Office Space the movie, but I haven't. I know I haven't seen the series.
With Milton with his red swing line stapler. That's my stapler.
Maybe.
No, that's my stapler. Oh my God. And the boss Lumberg with, I'm going to need you to come in on Saturday.
Well, I've seen clips of stuff like that. So I know what you're talking about, but
no, you're killing me. Right. I'll just say that Milton always says he's going to burn down the building. And in the end, he burns down the building.
What, in the movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the movie tied to the TV series?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't watch those.
What TV series am I thinking of?
You're thinking of The Office or something.
Yeah, Yeah, maybe.
I don't think there's not a series Office Space. There's The Office.
It's
There's
The
like Parks
Office.
and Rec. Yeah.
It's The Office. That's what I'm thinking about. So,
Yeah.
okay, I may the Office Space will probably be like if I start watching it, it'll probably be like, oh, I have seen this, but I won't. Things will be familiar to me as they happen, but I don't remember them as they're coming. That happens to me a lot. But
Okay. If you're listening to this, everybody shame Bill immediately for having not seen Office Space.
I may have. I may have.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I actually had seen it. I may have.
Oh, I'm rolling my eyes right now. I sometimes I wonder how I can be associated with you.
Damn.
Anyway, this is bad as not seeing Dirty Dancing and thinking that it's about like something it's not. Like I can't.
I may have seen Office Space. I know I haven't seen Dirty Dancing, and I still haven't seen Dirty Dancing.
It's a good movie, and you're just like biased because you think it's about something it's not. You don't even know. What
I admitted that I was way off about that. I admitted that after the tongue lashing that you gave me on that episode, and then after I posted the short from that, oh my God, the listeners just unloaded on me. It was hilarious.
As well, they should, and they should do it again. Okay.
I may have seen Office Space. I just don't remember it.
No. There's no way that you saw it and that these lines are not sparking your memory about it. There's no way in hell that you've seen it and I'm saying these lines and you're like, I might have seen it. No.
I'm going to watch it when we get done recording. And I will let you know, and I will tell the truth, I promise. I will tell the truth if I have seen it before or not. I would say there's probably about a 30% chance that I have seen it, and it'll just come back to me as I'm watching it. But if I haven't seen it, I'll fess up to that. But I really do think I may have seen it. I just don't remember it. I'll watch it. The building burnt down to the ground, and witnesses said that they saw a woman leaving the scene, although this woman was never identified.
Wait. Was it Cindy?
Of course it was Cindy. No, she was never identified.
I got that one too. No, I got that one too.
No. No. You don't get that one.
No one would have gotten that one right, okay?
Everybody would have gotten that one right. Todd would have gotten that one right. That wasn't even a question. I didn't pose that as a question. That doesn't count. You're getting greedy over here, just like Cindy. Oh boy. This episode this is too much fun. But, Gibson called Cindy's attorney from that case and requested an interview with her. He wanted to ask her lots of detailed and specific questions about the St. Mary's charges. The house fire where Buddy had died had happened in a different county than Baltimore County. So Gibson had to get a detective from that county to come ask questions about the fire that burnt down their house on Christmas. The attorney said that Cindy would be there, and this was in April of 2003. She would be there at 10 a.m. the next day, but Cindy never showed up.
I was just going to say, but I bet she didn't show up, did she?
Gibson at that point figured that Cindy never intended on paying St. Mary's back, despite the fact that she now, because of the life insurance policy, had the money to do it. He suspected that she was stalling.
I think.
And just when you think that this couldn't get any weirder, 146 miles away in Ocean City, Maryland, the police there found something. They found a car parked off the street that was abandoned, had its lights on. In the car, they found a cell phone that was on the a charger, a handbag, a box from an inflatable raft, and a Walmart receipt for the raft. But the raft was not present. Box was. Cindy's attorney around the same time, or around that same time, called Gibson saying that Cindy had committed suicide in Ocean City. The police even found a suicide note written to her ex-husband, the father of her 2 kids. And she said that she knew that she was going to be going to prison and that she couldn't bear going back there. And she'd rather die than go back there. So she asked that he tell the kids that she had no other choice than to off herself and that she had rafted into the ocean, and that was that. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week. No.
She's not dead.
She's not dead.
She thinks she could get better.
She thinks she could go for a walk or a boat ride.
I feel happy.
No. Gibson knew it was bullshit, and he knew that the car had been staged. Local police also found no evidence of Cindy in the water. No raft was ever found. Cindy had bounced, and it was freaking obvious.
She didn't even push the raft into the ocean?
No, the raft was gone. Her whole thing was supposed to be she drowned at sea.
Yeah, I'm saying, like they said, they found no raft. Like part of you would have been like, push the raft.
They didn't find the raft.
That's what you just said. That's what I just said. I said maybe she didn't push the raft into the water where they might find it.
Well, the raft was probably in a dumpster somewhere and wound up like in a landfill or something. The raft is gone. There was no raft.
She should have pushed it into the water, is what I'm saying. That would have been the smart thing to do.
It's not going to get like far out or whatever with no weight in it. She would have had to have been in it. It would have washed up on shore. You know, she could have even walked it out 100 yards and turned it loose. It still would have been on shore 20 minutes later.
Right, but then she would have been gone. They would have found the raft and been like, oh, maybe we should dredge the water for her body. And, you know. It
was the Atlantic Ocean.
Right. So that would have been more convincing.
Months went by and there was no sign of her. They even put out a bolo in all of Maryland and found nothing. But Gibson knew that Cindy was still alive, so he dug deeper into Cindy's past. Now, she was for real trying to reconcile with her ex-husband, David Haroff, the father of her kids, and the two of them had just purchased a house together. Now, keep in mind, this is just 4 months after Buddy had died in the house fire, and she's trying to reconcile with her ex.
She works pretty quick.
Yeah. Detective Gibson went to question David, and they brought the cavalry because there was the possibility that that Cindy was armed. So they were armed.
She had 2 arms.
Huh?
She had 2 arms.
Yeah. But they were armed too, with a search warrant and a SWAT team. They broke into the house. They found Cindy's son, Matthew, who was now an older teenager, almost 18. Keep in mind that Matthew had no idea what was going on, and he charged at Detective Gibson like a defensive lineman going for an uncovered quarterback. It took several officers to subdue him. And they told Matthew that they're going to search the house for Cindy, and if he knew where she was, he needed to tell them. Matthew said that she was at work as far as he knew. Gibson spilled the beans about all the charges against Cindy to Matthew. And this was news to Matthew. He said he never knew that she was stealing, but she always seemed to be comfortable and that they lived well. He realized at that point that she couldn't have been that comfortable legitimately. Smart kid. I mean, at that point, Matthew realized that he had been duped by his mom, and there was no sign of her, and the job that she was supposedly at also turned out to be a dead end. The the people at the job, they had never heard of her.
Oh. So she was just telling them she was working somewhere, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe going out and hustling a little more, right?
Yeah. Like this. April 30th, 2003. A dark-haired woman showed up at a Catholic church group where there was a group of women who were organizing a community yard sale. This was in Dover, Delaware. She asked them if they could help her. This is freaking crazy. She said that her name was Annie Pillar and that she used to be a nun who had fallen in love with her priest. The relationship hadn't worked out and she was trying to start over.
Okay.
Can you imagine a nun walking into a Catholic church, hell, any church, saying that she had an affair with the priest and was now asking for help?
No, but I don't know. I mean,
that would take some serious freaking balls.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there was a good-looking priest, and the other nuns could kind of relate. I don't know.
No, these weren't nuns. These were just like, people on the church staff organizing an event.
Fair, but I was saying, maybe if it was other people, they might be like, "Blessed be the fruit,"
or the seed.
And if it's Catholic, then they can't waste that. So.
Because every sperm is sacred.
Yeah.
But the church helped her out regardless, and they got her a place to stay, and they set her up with an elderly parishioner named Shirley Bloom, who had dementia, and she needed help around the house, and air quote, Annie moved in. This is
so now she gets to steal from an Alzheimer's patient. Great.
Yeah, this is not going to end well.
Yeah.
Shirley was a sweet and trusting woman. Factor in the dementia, she was right for the picking by Cindy. I'm just going to call her Cindy because you all know that it's Cindy. There's no brand new. There's no brand.
No
yes,
one
we do.
You're
not getting. You're not getting a point. You're not getting a point for that. No, you're not going to get a point for that.
No one could have guessed that, Bill. Like an impossible guess.
You've already set a record. Chill. Shirley's husband died in 1985. She never remarried, and she was up there in age. And her daughter Susan was worried about her being alone, especially when the dementia set in. Cindy became close with Susan and wound up moving in with Shirley. Shirley was also taken in by Cindy, and she had won them over with her bullshit. But she was very good with Shirley. I mean, she had to be. They became extremely close.
You don't want your gravy train to die. Come on.
Right. At least not yet.
Right.
Cindy had everybody fooled with her Annie persona and was completely off the radar as far as Cindy was concerned. But Cindy obviously had her next victim in her sights, and I forgot to mention something. Shirley Bloom, the old lady, she was freaking filthy rich. As a caretaker, Cindy had access to her money. Someone had to pay the bills, and Shirley with dementia wouldn't be able to do it on her own. She started off by just buying something for herself whenever she bought something for Shirley. So she started small. But Susan soon began seeing red flags. In June 2003, Susan got a call from her mom's broker saying that she thought that her mom's account had been hacked.
Let me guess. It was Cindy.
Yep. Obviously.
It was Cindy in the Alzheimer's patient's house with the bank account.
No point. No point there.
Ah.
Like with St. Mary's, the broker and Susan went through each charge, seeing, what would have been for Shirley and what wasn't. Susan then called Shirley, and of course, Cindy answered the phone. Susan asked to speak with her mother and said that there was a problem with her bank account. And then it hit Susan. Air quote Annie. I like that. Air quote Annie. Air quote Annie took the money. In 6 weeks, Cindy had been able to embezzle. Take a guess on the amount.
Ooh. I mean, she got 200,000 just from some church, so ooh, I'm gonna say maybe an upwards of $500,000 at least, maybe a little more. Mm-hmm.
It was around 200,000.
Oh, so okay, so she's still okay. I was gonna
Yeah,
say she would have done more with the old one.
You don't get that one. You don't get that one. That was a shot in the miss.
Okay.
So
that was just a guess.
you are now 8 and 1.5.
Oh, forgot.
So Cindy handed the phone to Shirley. After talking to her, Susan called a friend to get Shirley out of the house, and then Susan called the police. And when the cavalry got there,
the house was burned down.
No, but it was empty. But it's not what you think.
It's just Annie wasn't there.
Shirley was safe. She had been picked up by Susan's friend, and but Cindy had bounced once again. I got you on that one. I got all you listeners on that one. You, like you said, the house was burned down. So I got you. That was intentional. Maybe wondering what she spent $200,000 on in 6 weeks. A car, 2 motorcycles, and she even put $50,000 down, a $50,000 down payment at a beach house. So she's not very subtle at all.
Where was she putting all these fucking cars? That's what I want to know. Like, where were all these cars?
I wondered the exact same thing, but it never said.
Like, she's buying these vehicles. Like, seriously, I mean, there are 3 cars for our house, 2 motorcycles at our place, and it's like we can't park in the street overnight. So
Right.
If we have one person with a car over at night, they can park in the driveway. But if we wanted to have 2 people spend the night and they both had cars, well, shit. It's like, where do we put this? Doug keeps saying he wants to like get a car to work on, like some, project car. And I'm like, where the hell do you think we're going to put it? We have nowhere to put it. It's like, where'd she put this? I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing she had, each car or whatever, she would just rent a storage facility, a storage unit, and just stash it there. That's the only thing I could come up with. That's the only thing that makes sense.
I mean, they must have come and repoed the cars at some point, so they must have found them.
Not they were locked in a storage facility.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if she stopped payment on that shit, if they're investigating all of her stuff,
they still wouldn't have been able to find it if it had been locked in a storage facility, especially if she paid cash for the storage facility.
But yeah, but eventually she don't pay indefinitely. I mean, once the storage facility runs out of your payment money,
more than likely, if it was the storage facility, more than likely those vehicles, after she went away or whatever, she defaulted on the payment, and they were more than likely auctioned off.
Yeah.
Storage wars.
Yeah. But even then, they would have needed the title. I mean, it would have been a thing where they would have known that it had to be titled in some. I mean, and what was she titling these? Whose name was she titling this shit in?
Probably hers. And there's a reason I say that, so put a knife in that.
Hmm.
July 17th of 2003, Cindy donned yet another identity, an abuse survivor. And she checked into a battered woman's shelter in Norfolk, Virginia. That's 250 miles south of Baltimore. But you would think that she would go to the West Coast or even out of the U.S., but she is what I like to call a dumbass.
Well,
I mean, she's obviously got a lot of money. So why are you staying close by where everybody's looking at you? Looking for you.
But see, that's the thing. I don't think she did have a lot of money. Like, she seemed to get it and then spend it and
True.
not have a lot of it. I mean, she was probably broke ass. Because, I mean, if I'm going to go and if I get $200,000, I'm, nowadays, I mean, if I buy 3 or 4 cars, that money's gone.
True.
You could spend that much money on 2 cars, depending on what they are. She's going out and buying a bunch of cars and a bunch of motorcycles and shit like that. I mean, $200,000 ain't going to take her very far when she's dumping it like that.
No, and then of course she would start up somewhere else. But the crazy thing is, in all of her scams, she never once thought to get a fake ID. And
how could she?
This comes up later. This comes up later. Spoiler alert.
See, that's again weird to me. I'm like, how? Like, if they're looking for her, okay, she must have had to apply to put these cars in her name. She must be titling shit in her name. Is there no way in hell that they could look up DMV records or so? She has to be paying registration. She has to register these cars she's buying.
True.
Why couldn't they find her? Like that's to me, like, if you're going to disappear, if I'm going to disappear, I think the last thing I'm going to do is 1, put a down payment on a house, 2, buy a bunch of cars put them in my name.
All right.
I don't know. No, that seems pretty stupid. And like, maybe they should have found her quicker.
Yeah.
Go figure.
But also, maybe they were thinking that maybe they weren't even thinking to look at that because nobody would be that stupid. I don't know.
Well, but apparently she was. I mean,
Detective.
Honestly,
I stand by what I said before. Detective Gibson is a freaking rock star of a detective because I mean it's a very satisfying end to this. But after somebody dies.
but yeah, I would think that would be one of the first things that you would start searching. Would be major purchases.
Yeah.
Major things in the name. If you were trying to find someone, and maybe you could say no one would be that stupid, but like, I think that would be the one thing you would really go, let me just make sure that this person isn't leaving some trail and buying some shit somewhere. I don't know. Right. I'm not a detective, but I would look.
There's got to be a reason. Detective Gibson, if you happen to hear this episode, drop me an email at ckcbpodcast.com. I would love to have you on because, Sandra and I both have questions. I mean, like I said, you're a rock star, dude, if you're listening. We respect the hell out of you. But, yeah, I'd like to hear more. I'd like to hear more about the investigation, seriously. But
yeah, I want to know what the hell was going on.
Yeah. So Cindy told the shelter that she was the wife of a cop and that her husband had beat her. And she even went so far as to put a fake black eye, with makeup and everything, and other fake bruises on her body. She said
she
that
couldn't
she was
even
afraid.
Commit to making her. Come on, commit to giving yourself a black eye at that point. Let's do it.
Yeah. What are you doing? I'm kicking my ass. Do you mind?
Exactly. Just smash your face in the toilet seat. Do what you got to do.
Yeah. So, but nobody at the shelter tried to get her to go to the police because she was supposedly married to a cop. And a minute ago when I said she was a dumbass, I meant that because she was stupid when she found her victim and went crazy with the spending. But as far as her planning her hit, planning her mark, she was an evil genius. That took a lot of research. That took a lot of, she didn't just walk into that church, and just happen on, Shirley Bloom. She did her research. So, but also the reason she's a dumbass is, like I said, she didn't go to the West Coast or out of the country, which we already ripped apart in discussion. But she stayed somewhat local. You're going to laugh at this. She did give fake names, but she gave her real social security number.
Dumbass!
That's what I'm saying. Should have been able to find her immediately. Should have been able to hide anywhere. That's killing me.
While in the shelter, she called her ex-husband David, saying that she needed help. She was afraid of getting caught, and David, I'm assuming, was just as pissed off as her son Matthew about finding out what she had done. He told her he'd help, but then as soon as they hung up, he called the police. He got good old Detective motherfucking Gibson on the phone and said that he knew where Cindy was. And he gave Gibson the address, and he added that you better get there quick.
She'll run again. And
yes.
I don't know, you won't be able to find her until she uses her social security number again.
Right.
Now,
I'm guessing that Detective Gibson is a federal detective because he went to the woman's shelter in Virginia to get Cindy. He told, because, state detectives can't cross state lines. Federal ones can.
Yeah.
So he told the workers who he was and who Cindy really was and what she had done, and even showed the warrants for her arrest. The shelter workers took him to the room that she had been staying in, but she wasn't there. Get ready to laugh your ass off.
Oh, boy.
She had cash and maps left out in the open on the bed. She actually had her escape routes highlighted, highlighted on these maps. They were intricate, and she had left them out for the world to see. Once again,
Dumbass!
And she was actually following those ones. It wasn't like some red herring or something like, this is where I'm going to go, but...
Yeah, she hadn't bounced yet, but she was about to. She literally came into the room while Detective Gibson was in there. And he said, "Hey, Cindy, how you doing?" Cindy tried to play. She tried to play dumb, saying she wasn't Cindy. But on the bed, along with the cash and the maps, was a Maryland driver's license with her picture and name on it.
Dumbass!
And I would have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for you meddling detective.
Gibson arrested her on the spot. This is interesting. On October 31st, 2023, or 2003, Cindy pled guilty to the embezzlement charge from St. Mary's Seminary. She took a plea deal and got just 7 years. Think she learned her lesson? No, she did not. She still played her games while in prison. She even went on TV as an advocate for battered women, although she had never been battered. The only batter she was on was fried chicken, fish, or shrimp, or maybe schnitzel. Schnitzel.
Well, see, but now I'm 9 and 1.5 because you asked me, if she learned her lesson, and I got that one right.
Fine. fine. You want me to make you like a championship belt, like WWE style? Be like, like
Yes.
CKCB guesses champion, because you are.
Yes.
I mean, you've shattered it.
You know what? Yes, I do. I want one of those trophies, kind of like the participation ones you got, no matter what you did. But, I want like engraved.
I'll get it made. You can like wear it over your shoulder like wrestlers do while we're doing the episodes.
All the time.
Or you can put it up at, back behind you, kind of like I got with powder blue over here.
Yep.
I need to get you that banner. Do you want the banner?
Yeah.
I have the banner.
I said I would use the banner. You just never sent me one.
I'm not going to mail it to you. It's 4 feet by 4 feet. That would be expensive.
It's like a scroll. You'd put it in a tube.
Gotta buy the tube.
Yeah. My God. Oh no! It might be a $5 tube. Okay. I'll have to come pick it up, I guess.
That's fine. You guys go to Disney World all the time. You can swing through Lakeland.
I gotta come out to Lakeland at some point.
Yeah.
I gotta go to the Indian motorcycle dealership at some point, maybe. Oh.
But
we'll see.
So, she played the part of being remorseful, and she was so good at manipulation that the prison staff bought it. In mid-2005, not even 3 years, she was granted parole for good behavior. She returned to Baltimore, and she picked up right where she had left off. February 22nd, 2006, in Millersville, Maryland, 20 minutes south of Baltimore, at 3 a.m., she must be lonely. Well, sorry, had to go there. Speaking of Orlando, Matchbox 20 is from Orlando.
I haven't listened to Matchbox 20 in a long time because they're old.
I don't think anybody has, but I opened for them way back in the day when they were called Tabitha's Secret. Opened for them at the Fairbanks Inn.
So clearly they were a little better off than you.
Well, duh. There was a fire that a police officer had found and reported. The officer said that it looked like it was a mannequin that was on fire. And every true crime fan knows what?
That it's never a mannequin.
That's right. It is never a freaking mannequin. Ever. Never has been. Never will be. Except for the one that was in your garage, Sandra.
Yes. Manfred the mannequin. Yes, Manfred.
I don't remember what episode that story was on, but it's out there.
That was the one with the. Oh man. He like it was the one with the woman who was like she worked on the boardwalk or something and the pretty.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
She took the kid out like in the woods.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember who.
That was who it was. The pretty. Yeah, she wanted to be like with the.
It was a Daytona Beach story.
Yeah. Yeah, with the business on the boardwalk or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was it's never a mannequin. No, this was a burning body. And it had been recently set, too. There were gold chains around the man's neck, and he had a tattoo. He had no ID, and there was no evidence on him of like a burned wallet. So they took the body in, and it had nothing until the next morning when the police got a phone call from a man at a nearby house saying that he had a bag in this trash can that wasn't his. He said that he had heard about the body on fire, and this bag of trash on the same night couldn't be a coincidence. And you know what? He was right.
Wow. I probably wouldn't have noticed something in my. I mean,
I would.
not with the trash cans we have because they got lids and shit. Someone just throw shit in our trash can. We never look in it.
Well, like mine, I keep them out by the street anyway. I find stuff that I didn't throw in there all the time.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
But,
know. I don't know. If the lid was closed, then we wouldn't have noticed.
well, he probably went to go throw something else in. And wait, what's this?
Be
I mean,
lucky
you know,
though. Lucky.
maybe I'll start looking at that. But still, I'd rather have people like walking down the street or whatever throw stuff in my trash can than have them just chunk it onto my lawn.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if it's between that or the lawn, then yes, throw it in the
Right.
trash can. But
Right. So I'm not calling out people that put things in other people's trash cans. I'd rather it in the trash can than be on my lawn. So, police went through the bag. There was a driver's license for a 53-year-old man named Anthony Fertitta. There was also a UPS jacket, a Rite Aid bag, a pay stub, several credit cards, all belonging to Fertitta. Fertitta was a workaholic, according to his coworkers at UPS, and when they contacted his coworkers because of the pay stub that they had found, they said that he hadn't shown up for work that morning. And once again, before I forget,
Dumbass!
that's for Cindy, not for Fertitta. I mean, if you're gonna burn that shit, or if you're gonna burn the victim, burn the evidence too. Don't just throw it in somebody's trash can.
yeah. Burn everything.
Yeah.
See,
Anthony
Bill, now
Fert-
you're sounding a little more diabolical too, though. Burn everything. Burn everything.
Burn!
And this is how Bill would have done it.
I'm already on a watch list. So who cares? all the things I Googled doing this podcast for the past 3.5 years. How could I not be on a watch list?
Oh, great.
Anthony Fertitta was a nice guy, seriously dedicated to his job, but he had horrible luck with the ladies. But he had gotten this brand new girlfriend who he thought could be the one, and he had told his coworkers that he wanted them all to meet her.
It was Cindy.
You don't get a point for that one because duh.
No one would have guessed that, Bill.
Todd would have guessed that. On February 22nd, 2006, there was a voicemail from Cindy on Fertitta's answering machine saying that she hadn't heard from him and she was wondering what was going on. This was later in the evening, and she said that she said in the message that she thought, it was like, I thought you were coming over. He turned up dead that morning at 3 a.m. Gibson, this was later on, but Gibson heard the voicemail and recognized that's Cindy. See, once again, you don't get a point because I already put it into the episode notes. The girlfriend,
You get a
aka
point just for knowing. Just for knowing. I didn't have to guess.
You're already the rating champ off of this episode. The girlfriend, aka Cindy, was brought in for questioning. She said that he had set an alarm for 2:50 a.m. to go to work. He got up and left, and that was the last she saw of him. The local police had no clue about Cindy, so they literally just let her go after questioning. Autopsy reports came in a couple days later. Anthony Fertitta had been stabbed repeatedly before being set on fire.
Mm-hmm.
So the local police began looking into Fertitta, who was he? Did he have enemies? The usual.
Yeah.
Fertitta had been telling coworkers about things going missing from his house. It had been broken into. $2,500 was stolen from him, and that he suspected that his new girlfriend had been the one that did it. And this obviously caused a rift in the blossoming relationship.
You think?
Just a little. Somebody had charged a bunch of furniture to one of Fertitta's credit cards, totaling about $7,000. Once again,
It was Cindy.
Dumbass!
Cindy hadn't used an alias with Fertitta, so Detective Albin, the local detective, went to her place with a warrant. She wasn't there, but they went in anyway. They were hit with a strong smell of bleach. There was also a spot in the carpet where it had just been cleaned. In fact, it was still wet. They pulled the carpet up, and the pad had lots of blood in it. That was soaked. And, you see, there was a previous episode, like on the cat cult episode, where I did a rant about carpet.
Oh, yeah.
And now we have law enforcement basically confirming what I said about carpet being nasty. And, yeah, you agreed with me on that.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I hate carpet. We have carpet upstairs, but, I really, if I had my way, I would never have any carpet. Ever.
Yeah.
But
that's not all. They found a coat of Cindy's that had bleach stains on the wrist areas of it. They also found a knife block with the slot for the largest knife missing, and that knife was nowhere to be found. They opened the cabinet under the sink, and there was bleach and a bunch of Rite Aid bags, identical to the one that was found in that trash can, the one that had Fertitta's things in it.
Let me guess. The blood belonged to Fertitta, right?
Well, duh. No point.
Another point.
Nope, no point. I didn't ask you to take a guess. You can't point out the obvious. You can't be like, oh, it's dark, so the sky is black. That's a point. No, it don't work that way.
You never explained how the points worked, Bill. You never said that was a condition of me gaining points.
I told you that there was a lot of what happened next, take a guess. But I also gave you a couple that you came up with on your own. But pointing out the obvious is not going to get you a point.
Fine, stingy.
You're already the reigning champ. Cindy lived in a townhouse community. They had found Fertitta's truck there. The bed of the truck had blood in it. And they found the large knife from the knife block, missing from the knife block under the seat. As they investigated more, they found camera footage of Cindy at a gas station, buying a gas can, filling it up with gas, also leaving the store with a gallon of bleach in her hand. It was early in the morning, about an hour or so before Fertitta's burning body was found. But when she went to go get that stuff, he was already dead at that point.
Yeah. Just wanted to clean up. She didn't want to leave him lying around.
Obviously. But remember when I said that Cindy said that he had set an alarm for 2:50 a.m. to go to work?
Yeah.
But he was found at 3 a.m.?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anybody that can set an alarm and be out the door in his car in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Dumbass!
Maybe if he slept fully clothed, alarm went off, fall, go, run.
But then all of a sudden, a mysterious murderer got him to stop his car. They have an altercation, and he gets stabbed and burned to death. That's almost as ridiculous as the Jussie Smollett story. Almost.
Seems legit.
Yeah, Jussie Smollett. There were like people looking for people to lynch in Chicago when it's negative 25 degrees out in the middle of the night, and nobody was out. And they were looking for people to. Yeah, right, Jesse. Yeah. See, like you said, seems legit. But Cindy was arrested and charged initially as an accessory to murder after the fact and Fertitta's murder. They had her dead to right. They had her dead to right on that one, but still, they could add more to it later. I mean, they knew she did it, but still, it's like this we can prove. We'll tack on more as we discover it. So
yeah. Don't worry, we'll find more.
This is when Detective Gibson enters the picture. He saw a news story on TV about Anthony Fertitta. The police and the media had made the connection to Cindy about her embezzlement charges, prison time, and release. Police determined that Cindy's motive for killing Fertitta was because he had found out that she had been stealing from him, so he had to go. One of the credit cards called, and Cindy wasn't there to intercept the phone call, and Fertitta answered the phone. He kicked Cindy to the curb and told her that he was going to call the police. I love it when they're stupid. But remember the fake suicide note that she said that she couldn't go back to prison? She meant it, so she decides that killing somebody and possibly going to prison over that was better than going to prison for yet another embezzlement charge.
Dumbass!
She wasn't expecting to get caught. No one expects to get caught. And
yeah, getting caught is like the Spanish Inquisition.
no one expects.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. Now this is going to make you see red. This is going to piss you off because it pissed me off. She even told her oldest son, Matthew, to say that his brother, Cindy's younger son, Christopher, had been the one that killed Fertitta.
Wow, she's setting up her own son now?
Yeah.
So she said that her ex-husband was a gambling, boozing piece of crap. And now she's going to say, oh, my son's a murderer. She's a real piece of work. I'm sure her kids love her.
Well, neither of her sons have anything to do with her now.
I didn't think
after all this went down, you know what? I don't blame them. But and Christopher, Matthew, if y'all want to come on, ckcbpodcast@gmail.com. Seriously. I mean, this is one I'd really like to talk to somebody that was involved. You know. In her trial, Cindy took an Alfred plea, which means you're saying that you're not guilty, but you admit that there's sufficient evidence to convict you. She was sentenced to 30 years in prison, which that means she's probably going to die in prison. Either that or be decrepit and old when she gets out, because, I mean, she was 46 back in 1999 when she married Buddy. This is now 2006. So 2006, see, that would make her 51 when she went into prison. So
she's
81
61,
years old.
71
81.
now. What? Yeah.
She'd be 81 when she's probably going to die in prison. If not, she's not going to be able to scam anybody when she gets out. If she gets out.
I don't know. It might not be without trying.
They're not. She's not going to get early release this time. Not for murder. But her sons haven't been to visit with her one single time. Some people are addicted to drugs or alcohol. Some are addicted to gambling or sex. Cindy was addicted to money, and she didn't care what she had to do to get it. She just had to get it. But she was only convicted of the murder of Anthony Fertitta. But she killed Buddy. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
There's no way that was an accident, and I wouldn't be surprised if she killed her own dad too.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't after finding all this out that they didn't exhume her husband's remains.
Yeah, right. Well, I would imagine they did an autopsy on it, but still, what if he just got really drunk one night and passed out on the couch? And she's like, "All right, this is it. This is a wooden house, so it wouldn't be that hard for her just to take a cigarette lighter and light it on the couch and everything."
Of course, she drugged him.
Well, that would have turned up in the autopsy because he.
It depends on what they were looking for. I mean, especially depending on how charred his body was. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a medical examiner, but I would think that could be dependent upon the state of the remains, what they could actually see or figure out.
Right. And once more, for good measure.
Dumbass!
So, any more thoughts on this one? That I told you we were going to have fun on this one.
Well, and you mentioned her father's death. Did it say anything about her mother? Like her mother died before? Maybe?
There was nothing about her mother. I mean, literally nothing. And even when I looked for more to add to it, I couldn't find anything about her mother. But maybe she died. Maybe she died early on or something, or whatever. It was just her and her dad, or whatever. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, this girl's she's a piece of fucking work. I mean, damn.
Yeah. I mean, but at least she got her just desserts eventually. I mean, it's sad that 3 people had to die. Daddy, husband, boyfriend.
Yeah. And I don't know. I love it when I find a freaking and totally insane one like this, because those are always the most fun to cover. I was just shocked when I looked to see if there were other episodes about her that I found a 2-parter that I had listened to. that was like wait a minute.
Oh. So what's my final score? Was it 8-0, 8 and 1.5, 9 and 1.5?
9 and 1.5.
Yeah.
9 and 1.5. Come on, give us the wave. We are the champions, my friend.
My friend. We'll keep on fighting till the end. Anyway, so yes. Thank you, everybody.
Anyway, tonight is my beer of the week. Tonight I have Bud Light that I'm drinking.
It's a beer.
It is definitely a beer
from Anheuser-Busch.
From Anheuser-Busch, which makes Budweiser, which the acronym you can read it front and back, because you deserve what every individual should enjoy regularly, and backwards is remember every soldier in every war depended upon Budweiser. Well, this is Bud Light, and it's a smooth drink. It it tastes like shit. I admit it, but you know what? It really hits the spot, especially after a long day of working, where it just you just need something, and you just grab an ice cold Bud Light and take a swig. I'm going to take a swig right now.
I mean, Budweiser, if you're going to, support us, then I love Bud Light. Love it.
I really need to find which freaking episode that was where I just delivered the freaking bomb of an ad for Bud Light, and I need to find that. And I have no clue which episode it was. It was
I
a
like
bunker
your horses.
area.
I'll say that. I like your horses. You got pretty Clydesdales.
Yeah. Speaking of horses, have you ever seen a horse's freaking roadkill?
No.
I did today.
Oh.
I mean, I was going to get vape juice and everything. I have a spot where I can, I have a spot where I get my vape juice from because it's like cheap compared to every other vape store. So I have to drive a little bit out of the way to get there. But I see this huge dead animal, and I'm just like, I'm going to have to see what that is on the way back, because, I mean, it could have been an elephant. It could have been a cow. Horse never even entered my mind because of the fact that, horses are usually with people when they're out and about and everything. But
Yeah.
when I came back, I looked at it. It was a freaking horse.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, how in the hell did a horse get splattered?
Must have gotten free.
Must have gotten loose, yeah. But there's no ranches anywhere in this general area. So I'm wondering if this just happened, and maybe the rider is like somewhere off in the woods. Like maybe he got thrown. Maybe the horse and rider got hit by a semi or something, and the rider got launched because he weighs a hell of a lot less than the horse, and the horse just wound up like 6 feet off of the highway.
Oh, was the horse in riding gear? Did it have a saddle and stuff like that?
I couldn't tell. I wasn't going to stop and look, but because it would have broke my heart if it was still alive, and I didn't have a gun to put it out of its misery. But a freaking horse! That's something I never, ever, ever thought that I would ever see as roadkill.
Yeah, it's sad. I know. It was not a horse, but there was once we were driving actually to Orlando, and we went past a cow pasture. And now, like, this was a route like we'd taken a couple times. I can't remember. Maybe we weren't going. I can't remember, but I know I'd taken the route a few times recently.
Dean Steele Road?
Yeah. It was a highway. It was a highway.
Oh, okay.
No, it was a highway, but there was a pasture next to the highway. You see the cows all the time. There was a dead cow, like lying in the pasture, and it was dead. And I knew it was dead because every time we drove by, I kept seeing this dead cow, and it was there for at least a week or two. And I'm like, don't they count them or something? Like, don't they realize that there's a dead cow? And I finally ended up calling. Like, I called like the non-emergency line for police or like animal welfare. Like, I can't remember who I called, but like I called like the animal police. And I was like, can someone tell the rancher, like, I don't know who owns this field, but it's this field on this, on this highway between these mile markers, and there's just been a dead cow lying there for like a week or something. Like, I don't know if they noticed that their cow is lying there dead. And they basically were like, well, unfortunately, that's private property and there's not really much we can do. I'm like, you can't figure out like who owned. You can't go to the house, the ranch, and be like, hey, you got a rotting cow here in your pasture that you don't know. I don't know. But they said there was nothing they could do because it was private property. And I'm like, well, aren't all animals on fucking private property when I call you? What if I called you about a dog that was being beaten? What are you going to do? Say it was on private property,
on
so
private
nothing
property.
we can do.
Yeah.
I'm I don't know.
But a freaking horse, man. I was just like, damn. And it happened recently because there weren't any like vultures or buzzards on it.
Mm.
So I mean, it had probably happened pretty soon. They hadn't found it yet, and this is on public property too. This is along the side of a street, and next to the street where it was, there's woods. I mean, this is not next to a ranch or anything. At first, I'm like, I don't know what the hell that is. I mean, it could have been an elephant, a young one, but I was thinking it was probably a cow. But the way that it was lying, I couldn't see it. But I slowed down when I came back. It was a freaking horse. Poor horse.
Wow.
But anyway, thanks a lot for listening, everybody. We appreciate the hell out of it. Please subscribe, or follow the YouTube page, comment, follow us on whatever streaming platform you use, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, whatever. 5-star ratings are awesome. But what really helps the show grow is word of mouth. So if you like us, tell a friend. If you hate us, tell an enemy.
Tell an enemy. Mm-hmm.
And tell an enemy. Yeah.
An enemy. An enemy. An enemy.
Yeah, we welcome the anemone crowd too. I mean, if the anemones like the podcast, we'll welcome sea anemones. Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Wow.
And until next week, later.
Bye.